It's our special 4th of July Scarecast.
Set a course for the island of dead and buried treasures.
Yes, Captain, aye aye!
Tonight, as you celebrate the 4th of July weekend with fireworks, revolvers ablazing, and the birth of our nation, come have a few scares and celebrate the birth of our show, Dead and Buried Treasures. We're just as patriotic as anyone else.
It's like I had a good night in Tortuga.
Tonight, as you look back at the birth of our nation, we look back at the birth of our show when I was a wee pirate and we didn't know what we were doing.
If I had the chance, shoot myself in the face. Twice.
All weekend long as we host the movie City of the Dead with the legendary Christopher Lee.
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So let's blow some stuff up, eat some hot dogs, lock the doors, and bolt the windows. It's our special 4th of July show of Dead and Buried Treasures.
What we need here is a musical interlude to kill some time.
Try living with it.
And do it in style with the 3 B's. Baked beans, bourbon, and bigger scares than you can imagine.
I'll be back before you know it. Avast, me hearties! Ready your sea legs and leave the landlubbers behind. And welcome to Haunted Weekends. I am Calico Drake, captain of the Swashbuckler's Haunt, formerly King Philip's Revenge, the fastest ship of the line, at your service. I've sailed from the Barbary coast to the Spanish Main. I was once the carouser and scourge of the 7 seas. Until me quartermaster double-crossed me in a mutiny that lasted nearly 2 days. I was just getting to that. You see, while plundering the Queen's riches, he convinced me crew to loot one particular chest that contains something so sinister it's hard for me to speak of.
Did it contain cursed coins, Captain? Like in Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, you daft bird. You know exactly what was in it. But unlike Captain Jack Sparrow from that Inferno movie who broke the curse of the coins, you all know him, we have not, as of yet, been able to. And now me condemnation is to haunt the high seas as your horror host every Friday and Saturday night, bringing you the worst in monster movie mayhem, ghost stories, thrillers, and more, until me crew and I locate the one who can break the curse.
Get to the point! Get to the point!
Well, I've sent me quartermaster to the fathoms below. Me jailer now is this flappy bird.
That's right! I'm like your warden! That's right! I'm like your warden!
No, you're not.
Your attorney? Your attorney?
No.
Your mentor?
No, wait, mentor.
Your boss.
Me boss. Me boss. Oh, okay. You're daft, you loopy bird.
Wait a second. You can't kill me. Remember the curse. Remember the curse. And your blood pressure.
So, until the end of time, or at least until I find a way to break this vile curse, I've been hornswoggled into showing these monster movies and pirate swashbucklers every Friday and Saturday night at 11 o'clock, and there's just not much I can do about it.
So change the channel from your local news.
Or else me parrot here reports it to Poseidon himself.
That's right. I'm the captain now.
You daft bird. I have to find a way to make him walk the plank.
That's right. And I oversee your work to make sure it's done right. Time for the movie. Let's microwave the popcorn.
So, tonight's movie is City of the Dead, starring the legendary Christopher Lee. A young college student arrives in a sleepy Massachusetts town to research witchcraft. During her stay at an eerie inn, she discovers a startling secret about the town and its inhabitants. Is that it?
Showtime.
I was just getting to that, you vile bird. As this is a ghost ship the Swashbucklers haunt, you'll be noticing a lot of strange goings-on around here.
Let's get this party started. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the right. Wings up. Put your wings up. Wings up. Wings down. Woohoo! Wings up. Wings down. Wings up. Wings down. Do the wing swing. Do the wing swing. Woohoo! Drop the mic. That's right. Drop the mic. What a great night. Hey, wanna hear a joke? Here's a good one. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. That's hilarious.
Strange goings-on, indeed.
Squawk! Drop the mic. That's right. Drop the mic.
So, batten down the hatches and prepare to set sail! Prepare yourself for witchcraft and sorcery! It's just like that scallywag Captain Barbosa once said. You best believe in ghost stories. You're in one!
Get to the haunted film projector. I love that part.
The infamous haunted film projector that shows all. Avast me hearties! Set sail for the island! You know the one, you scurvy cockroaches! As for you, me mateys, you take a look at... City of the Dead!
out Elizabeth Selwyn.
Witch! Burn the witch!
Jethro Kane, hast thou consorted with the witch Elizabeth Selwyn?
No.
Burn the witch! Elizabeth Selwyn, on this 3rd day of March, in the year of our Lord 1692, we, the people of Whitewood, Massachusetts, condemn thee as a witch. May the flames cleanse thy soul of its evil, of its lust for blood, but may they bring about the death of Abigail Adams.
My pact with the Elizabeth. Hear me! Hear me! I will do thy bidding for all eternity. For all eternity shall I practice the ritual of Black Mass. For all eternity shall I sacrifice unto thee. I give thee my soul. Take me into thy service.
O Lucifer, listen to thy servant. Grant her this pact for all eternity, and I with her. And if we fail thee but once, you may do with our souls what you will.
Make this city an example of thy vengeance. Curse it! Curse it for all eternity! And let me be the instrument of thy curse. Hear me, O Lucifer. Hear me! Making a curse. Curse? Burn!
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn. So shouted the people of Whitewood when they burned Elizabeth Selwyn in 1692. Though, as I've said, little is known today of the actual practice of witchcraft in 17th century New England, superstition, fear, and jealousy drove the Puritans to accuse their friends and relatives of consorting with the devil. Parading around huge bonfires, repeating vindictive chants, they consigned the poor creatures to the flames. The tortured souls cried out in agony as the flames mounted higher and higher. Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
Dig that crazy beat.
Shh.
That will be all for today. Tomorrow will be my concluding lecture on the history of witchcraft in 17th century New England. I shall bring along some illustrations which I'm sure will interest you all.
I'll bring the matches.
Maitland! Since you chose to attend these lectures, I had hoped that it was in a spirit of scientific curiosity about the subject. That'll be all.
Bill, how could you?
He takes it all so darn seriously. He's got you all hypnotized.
Oh, Miss Barlow.
Yes, Professor.
Can I see you for a moment, please?
What about our date?
I'll meet
Look, I'll wait for you outside. Huh?
you. Yes, Professor.
Rather a difficult young man, that. I fear that you are more of an attraction to him than my poor efforts. However, I've been reading through your papers, Miss Barlow. They show a very sound appreciation of the subject.
I want to go to New England to do my senior paper.
Mm-hmm. They're really quite good, you know.
Well, I'm not quite satisfied. I feel I need some first-hand research. I want to get the atmosphere. Find out how widespread witchcraft really was, what the witches were really like.
Well, that might take a little time, you know.
Well, I have the time. My brother and I were going to spend our vacation with our cousins. What I'd really like to do is to get a room in the smallest, oldest town in New England I can find. Check through all the town hall records, recheck the libraries, talk to the Puritan descendants, make a really thorough investigation.
Your brother is professor of science, Miss Barlow. I hardly think he'd be very interested in the history of witchcraft.
Then I'd go alone.
You don't think he'd object to that?
You leave Richard to me. He's picking me up here for lunch.
Hello, Bill. Professor Barlow.
Nan here?
Yeah, she's in there with him. Well, I don't like her getting mixed up in this witchcraft business.
Why not? It's only part of a history course.
I want to find out
Professor
how
Barlow.
widespread witchcraft really was.
Before you go in there, could I have a word with you?
Sure.
Well, it's about Nan and me.
Oh.
If you're really serious about this, I happen to know of a town in New England. As a matter of fact, it's the identical place where the events occurred that I mentioned in today's lecture, Whitewood. It's quite a small place. It's a little bit off the beaten track, so maybe these directions will help you.
Thank you.
I think you might very well find what you're looking for there. I happen to know the woman who owns the inn at Whitewood. Her name is Newless, Mrs. Newless. So you just tell her I sent you.
Raven's Inn, Whitewood.
What's Whitewood?
Now, Dick, don't be too upset, but I'm going to change my plans for the vacation.
Change your plans?
Yes. Going to a place called Whitewood for a week or so to do some research.
Who are you? What about Cousin Sue? Why, she's expecting you for a birthday party on the 17th. She'll never forget
I can still easily make it by then. This is important. My term paper's got to be good. It could mean a scholarship.
And I've made all the arrangements.
Come on, Dick. You'll have a good time without me. My mind's made up. I'm going to Whitewood.
But surely any good encyclopedia will give you all the nonsense you want to know about witchcraft.
Witchcraft is not nonsense, Barlow.
I'm sorry, Driscoll. Witchcraft, black magic, sorcery. To me, it's nothing but fairy tale mumbo-jumbo. I'm a scientist, Driscoll. I believe what I can see, what I can feel and touch.
The basis of fairy tales is reality. The basis of reality is fairy tales.
Well, I don't
As a scientist, you should be familiar with that quotation.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that somebody in Chicago can die of a heart attack because some woman in New Orleans sticks a pin in a wax doll.
Maybe you don't, but practitioners of voodoo will claim otherwise.
Dick, you're just being difficult.
No. When I look into a microscope, Driscoll, I see bacteria swimming, fighting, existing. That's real. These witches that were persecuted and burnt in the 17th century were real, too, but they weren't witches. They were pitiful human beings, victims of hysteria.
There are many eminent scholars who have documentary proof of the actual practice of witchcraft.
Yeah, but how effective was this practice? Did any of these eminent scholars ever meet a real practicing witch? Did you ever meet a witch, Driscoll?
Perhaps.
Oh, come on, you're an historian. No witch ever survived the burning at the stake for all that pact with the devil.
In 1692, Elizabeth Selwyn went to the stake. She was buried in a churchyard in New England. And yet 3 years later...
Yeah?
3 years later, a new wave of blood sacrifices broke out in the village that had condemned her. The daughters of the elders who had condemned her were themselves found murdered with every last drop of blood drained from their bodies. And afterwards, people came forward to testify that they had actually seen Elizabeth Selwyn.
Oh, stop. This would be more effective at midnight with howling winds and crashing thunder, and even then it wouldn't frighten anyone.
Dick, I'm sorry, Professor Driscoll.
That's all right, Miss Barlow. You won't be the first person to have scoffed at the subject.
Honey, when you get to, where is it?
Whitewood.
Ah, yes, Whitewood. Well, send me a picture postcard of a witch. If possible, autographed. Now, let's have some lunch, eh?
I'm sorry, I have a date.
Nan, darling, I still don't see why you have to go off to this Whitewood place. Now, I thought we were going to have some time together during this vacation.
You know I want to be with you. It's just this is important.
Look, what the heck can you find that hasn't been found before?
I don't know. It's just that maybe, hidden in some attic or buried in some old antique shop, there's something that might give a whole new outlook to the
Oh,
subject.
what new outlook can there be?
You're a science student, honey. You know how important research is.
But this isn't about anything real. This is just superstitious people burning silly old women.
But suppose the women weren't silly. Suppose they really had a pact with the devil. A pact that could have supernatural power.
Oh, come on. What kind of power?
I don't know.
Look, it's no use, Bill. We've both tried our hardest to talk her out of going.
Do you really think she will find anything worthwhile?
Well, I think we have to respect her desire to find something new, even if we don't agree with the subject.
Agree with it? I've never heard so much nonsense as that guy Driscoll talks in all my life.
Well, here I am, all packed.
Oh, I suppose there's nothing I can say will stop you from going, huh? Yeah, well, I'll put this in the car.
I still hoped you'd change your mind, Nan.
Don't worry, darling. I'll be back as quick as I can, and I'll write.
Well, don't forget me altogether, huh?
I won't. Give Sue my love, and don't forget we have a date at her party.
Goodbye, darling.
Excuse me, can you help me? I seem to be lost.
Sure, if I can.
I'm looking for the Wamport Road.
Wamport Road, hardly anyone uses that anymore.
Well, my friend gave me the directions. Take Road 28A, turn onto the Wamport Road, bear left at the fork through to Whitewood.
Whitewood?
Am I that far away?
No, ma'am, not far. Not many God-fearing folks visit Whitewood nowadays. If I were you, I'd...
If you'll excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Which way is it?
Well, follow this road about 2 miles. You come to a fork. There'll be a sign, Wamport Road. Turn left, keep straight. There'll be Whitewood.
Thank you very much. Say Wamport Road?
Wamport Road, yes.
Oh, good. I was afraid I missed it.
Is it Whitewood you seek?
Yes.
I, too. Would I be imposing if...
No, of course not. Get in.
Thank you.
I think the Highway Commission would do something about these roads. Watch out, here comes another bump.
What is your mission in Whitewood?
Mission? Well, I'm going there to do some research on witchcraft. Professor Driscoll gave us some very interesting lectures on the subject, and I'm going there to get some original source material. Do you know Whitewood?
I've known it for many years.
Do you go there often?
Fairly often.
Oh, then you must know the Raven's Inn.
I shall be resting there.
Oh, so shall I. Oh, my name's Nan Barlow.
My name's Jethro Keene.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Just like a picture out of a history book. I feel as though I were in the 17th century. Why hasn't Whitewood been written about?
It's off the beaten path. Few tourists come here. For Whitewood, time stands still.
Look at that church. Must have been beautiful. What a shame they let it get so run down. Straight on?
Yes, follow the road around.
Oh, there it is. What a lovely old building. 17th century at least. How picturesque can you get? Right by the graveyard.
Yes, it has not been used for more than 200 years.
Any witches buried there?
There are indeed. All in a section of unconsecrated ground.
Spooky, isn't it? Well, keep your fingers crossed for me, Mr. Keene. I hope Mrs. Newlis has that room. Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Are you Mrs. Newlis? Oh, I'm Nan Barlow. I was told I might find a room here. I was recommended by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll. Perhaps you know him.
That will be all, Lottie. Sorry to keep you waiting. Unfortunately, Lottie cannot talk. I've often told her not to answer the bell.
Oh, poor thing. Then you're Mrs. Newlis.
I am. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to have a room here for 2 weeks.
The hotel is quite full. Oh, the guests are never about at this time of the day.
Well, I'm a student of Professor Driscoll's. He told me if I mentioned his name, I'd have no trouble.
Well, there is a room I could let you have. It's just off the lobby.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Mrs. Newlis, that plaque. Is it true that Elizabeth Selwyn was really burnt here for being a witch?
She was?
And do you believe she was a witch?
Come along. I'll show you to your room. I hope you will be comfortable. Yes, it is a nice room. The previous occupants have always found it most agreeable. Well, if there's anything you should need, just ring the bell for me at the desk.
Thank you.
been so many months. I've counted the days to this holiday.
So have the others. It wasn't easy for some of my guests to get here. Many had to travel vast distances.
I was lucky. The last few miles were enchanting. Miss Barlow is very good company.
You must be tired, Jethro. Your room is ready.
And the festivities.
I am prepared.
Oh, Mrs. Newless. I thought I'd have a short look around town. I won't be gone long.
I think you'll find the church interesting. Unfortunately, it no longer has a congregation.
He will be pleased.
Smell that sea air. Welcome back, you scurvy cockroaches.
Buried treasure, buried treasure.
Shut up, Jack. I was just getting to that.
Hey, wanna hear a joke?
No.
Why did a spider go onto his laptop? To visit his website. Rough crowd, huh?
We named the parrot Jack. And this be me island of dead and buried treasures, otherwise known as the Catacombs of Fear.
And movie treasures.
Yes, they should all be buried. Now, let's get some background on this fine piece of frightful mayhem. That's where me map comes in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Catacombs of Fear are around here somewhere. So let's see. 5 pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 18, 19, 20. You see, this is an abandoned Spanish fort. Well, not so much abandoned as it was offered as a form of parley that didn't exactly go as expected for the Spaniards. Let's see. 16 paces. 1, 2, 3. 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's see. 5 paces from the palm. 3, 2, 1. I think we're right on top of it. X marks the spot. I won't even need a shovel, Jack. These buried treasure hatches aren't too far from the surface. After all, it's not a tomb. It's a tunnel.
What we need here is a musical interlude to kill some time.
Shut up, that infernal noise! Anything with that. I hate that song. I need a new band leader. Paul Schaefer, he ain't. Shut up that noise! You're worse than the bird!
That was awesome!
I think this is the tomb, Jack.
How do you know, Captain? How do you know?
How do I know? Because I marked it! I'm not an idiot, Jack. It's right here. I marked it right here. See? You see, that's the greatest secret a pirate has ever known, Jack. Most landlubbers are led to believe that Davy Jones' locker is the bottom of the ocean. A final resting place at the bottom of the sea for drowned pirates. Well, they'd be wrong. In actuality, it's right here. This be Davy Jones' locker. And that be the secret of the curse I be telling you about earlier.
Bah! The sinister contents of the cursed treasure chest? Bah!
Aye, Jack. Where all good movies go to die eventually. Contained inside that chest were...
Bah! Well, where is it?
Where's what?
Bah! The device. There's always a device.
Ah, you're right. I mean, I have the keys to the tomb itself, but I don't see where to put them.
Bah! Well, what does it look like if I find it? What am I looking for?
Usually there's a trip switch or a lever or a branch or a switch of some type. Or a... Oh, hello. What have we here? Nothing. I thought for sure that would be it. It's always a vine on these coastal islands. The Spaniards never did show much initiative. Vines were a lot like doorbells. Oh wait, that'd be right. It wouldn't be white. It would be red.
Bah! Found it!
What the fuck? Put the vine back. Yes, that be the trip lever. Thank you, Jack.
Bah! Why does everything look so odd, Drake?
That's because it's not only buried treasure, Jack. It be dead and buried treasure. It's all part of the curse, Jack. All part of the cursed contents of that chest. Which is why we're here. Most of the movies down there are colorless and old at best. It's all part of the curse. When I return to the surface, I'll regenerate to my original color. I'll be fine.
Bah! I didn't ask.
Don't worry about me, Jack. I'm armed and ready.
Bah! I'm not worried.
Perhaps you'd like to accompany me, Jack.
Bah! No, I'm fine.
After all, I may need some help bringing me treasure chest back up to the surface.
Bah! No, I'm good.
And it might be a little heavy.
Bah! I think I injured my wing during morning calisthenics. Bah! And I can't see in the dark.
All right. I'll be back before you know it. Well, while I proceed to me plunder, you watch these messages from our sponsors. Hey, Jack. How much do you think a pirate is willing to pay to get his ear pierced?
Bah! I don't know. How much?
Oh, I don't know. Nearly $1 an ear. I killed myself. Let's see.
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So let's blow some stuff up, eat some hot dogs, lock the doors, and bolt the windows. It's our special 4th of July show of dead and buried treasures.
Ah! What we need here is a musical interlude to kill some time.
Try living with it.
And do it in style with the 3 B's. Baked beans, bourbon, and bigger scares than you can imagine.
I'll be back before you know it.
Discover how you can make a difference in your community and country serving part-time in the Army National Guard. Visit goarmy.com/Army Guard.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. It's what you do.
I'm being quiet.
Who's calling you?
I told you he'd call.
Answer it. No, don't answer.
Text it.
Don't make a poor decision. Please silence your phone and no texting.
Head for the cemetery!
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures.
You know, Captain, we should be recording this.
You know, Jack, we should be recording.
This weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages, if you dare.
Is it wrong that I want their autograph?
Any questions?
No.
You know.
We're not magicians, we can't read your mind.
We need your questions, each and every kind.
We'll just react with my other medicine. Hey, what are all these tests even for?
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I've woken up in stranger places. What the?
Hello, Santana. Would you like to play a game? Last Steel City Con, you ran amok. You commandeered William Shatner's autograph line, stole from the innocent, and generally made all the guests feel a little weird and uncomfortable inside.
You were in my backyard 2 days ago, and what did I tell you? Stay away 500 feet.
This year will be different. I will no longer idly stand by while you...
Wait, who was that? Are you gonna be at Steel City?
No, you didn't see that.
Jigsaw's gonna be at Steel City? I'm coming.
We asked, and you responded.
Hey guys, I was just calling to tell you that I'm a really big fan of your show. Me and my friends watch it every Saturday night, and we are absolutely in love with all the monster movies that you talk about, and especially that they're from like the 50s, 60s, you know, the older movies. That's what we like about the show so much. We especially like your parrot Jack. He's always making us laugh. And it's just a very enjoyable show that we like to watch every Saturday. So I was just calling to give you my feedback, and I hope you continue to make more great shows. Thank you.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
Hey, this is Saul Kummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love the Dead and Buried Treasure Show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you guys got to check this show out. It'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy. Bucket of Blood is what it is, man. What it is. Got that beatnik thing to it, and I just love it. Groovy, man, groovy. Hey, keep up the good work, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
It's our special 4th of July Scarecast.
Set a course for the island of dead and buried treasures.
Yes, Captain. Aye, aye.
Tonight, as you celebrate the 4th of July weekend with fireworks, revolvers ablazing, and the birth of our nation, come have a few scares and celebrate the birth of our show, Dead and Buried Treasures. We're just as patriotic as anyone else.
Why does everything look so odd, Drake?
Don't be rushing me, you vile bird.
I'm the sweetest bird in the world. I need a hug.
Is that one of the treasures, Drake?
Aye, Jack. One of many. There's 1,500 of these treasure chests down here. And Lord knows, it might come in handy. If I had one.
Captain, did you have that hook in the last segment?
Of course I did, you dippy bird. All right. I think our viewers can differentiate between us pirates.
What does that mean, Captain?
We lie a lot. Mostly for show, and the kids love it.
Sure they do.
I think, Jack, that our mateys at home know by now that us pirates are less than trustworthy, and that's the one thing they can trust in, that we're dishonest, honestly.
The treasure, Captain?
All right, the treasure. Well, there is one last part to the curse, Jack. In the catacombs of fear, there are 1,500 of these tiny treasure chests, or rather, hidden here in Davy Jones' locker. But there is one piece of truth, the most sinister bit of truth, that it's in the final resting place for pirates and their acquired booty. For what we discovered in one cursed chest was a collective abomination of frightful films, so despicable that they kept them hidden from the rest of the world. Until tonight, and every haunted weekend on Buried Treasures.
Dead and Buried Treasures.
That's right. Dead and Buried Treasures. Yes. You see, Jack, there's one bit more about the curse. Davy Jones was the original horror host of all time. Before Bill Cardill in Chiller Theatre, before the spooky spectre, Svengoolie, the creepy reaper, even Elvira. Acquiring these cursed movies, only to have his ship sunk off the coast of Spain. But before he went down, he disclosed their hidden location only to me quartermaster. Only I discovered it too late, and me crew opened this one cursed chest, trapped to a lifetime of watching and hosting them until I, Calico Drake, captain of the Swashbuckler's haunt, can break the vile curse of these public domain films of yesteryear. Well, in any case, let us get back to the haunt, Jack. As for you, mateys, we'll reveal what's inside this cursed chest and more. But for right now, you get back to City of the Dead.
Who's rowing this time, Captain?
Who do you think, Jack?
You, Captain?
Been hitting the rum again, eh?
I'm told this was once a house of worship.
It is still a house of worship. I am the reverend of this church. As long as the breath of life is within me, this house shall remain God's house.
Must have been a beautiful building.
For me, it is still beautiful.
I'm sorry. What a shame the people have let it fall into such a state.
Strangers rarely come to Whitewood. Who are you?
I'm Nan Barlow. I'm staying at the Raven's Inn.
Why have you come to Whitewood?
Well, because I'm interested in witchcraft.
Young woman, leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. For 300 years, the devil has hovered over this city, made it his own. The people in it are his. Evil has triumphed over good here. Look at my church. I have no parish. No one worships here. His is the power.
What power?
Leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. I beg of you.
What power?
Leave before it is too late.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please excuse the mess. We haven't been open long.
You have some very interesting things here.
Yes, they belonged to my grandmother. When she died, I came back to sort things out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you don't live here?
No, my family have lived here for generations, but I've just been back a few weeks. Would you like to have a look around?
Thank you. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you when I came in. It's just that all the people I've met here have acted like I'm a person from another world.
They don't see many strangers here.
And I had the most, well, unusual experience with the Reverend. He barred my way from the church. And he talked to me about a curse. And he warned me to leave Whitewood. Can you explain that?
No, I can't.
Does he often act that way?
He's my grandfather.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's happened before with strangers. Oh, the lack of parishioners and loss of his sight has made him bitter and suspicious.
I'm afraid what with him and the town, I was very scared. When I saw your lights, I made a dash for them.
I'm glad you did.
Do you have any books or pamphlets on witchcraft? You do, don't you? A friend of mine...
Well, we have a collection gathering dust, but why on earth would you be interested in... Oh, I'm sorry. It's really none of my business.
No, that's all right. I'm studying it in college, and I've come here to write my term paper.
Well, just wait. I'll see what I can find. That's Elizabeth Selwyn, burned as a witch, March 3rd, 1692.
Yes, I know. I saw the plaque in the lobby of the hotel.
You're staying at the Ravens Inn?
Yes. It was recommended to me by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll.
Alan Driscoll?
Yes, do you know him?
No, but my grandfather speaks of him. His family come from here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Here, I think this will do for a start. What a lovely locket. May I see it?
I believe it's quite old.
Oh, it is. You're very lucky.
I'm even more lucky to have found this. A treatise on devil worship in New England. This must be a very rare book. I'm afraid I couldn't afford to buy it.
You can borrow it, if you like.
Oh, could I? That would be wonderful. I promise I'll bring it back in a few days.
You're very welcome, Miss,
Barlow. Nan Barlow.
Nan Barlow.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Mrs. Newless? Mrs. Newless?
Yes, Miss Barlow?
I've heard some strange noises in my room.
Oh, possibly the water in the pipes. This is a very old inn.
No, it seemed to be coming from the cellar underneath.
I hardly think so, Miss Barlow. The cellars do not extend beneath your room.
Then why is there a trapdoor in the floor?
The ground was filled in many years ago to strengthen the foundations of the building.
But I'm sure
Well, if you insist, I will come and see. I don't hear anything.
Well, just a few minutes ago. Never mind, I'm sorry.
You're welcome. But you can see for yourself there is no ring in the trapdoor because there is no reason to lift it. There is nothing underneath but earth.
Come in. Oh, hello, Lottie. Come in. Oh, I don't need any more towels. I haven't used mine, and they're quite clean.
Lottie, I've told you before not to bother the guests. Miss Barlow, I thought you might care to join the others.
I will as soon as I finish my notes. I'll put some clothes on and join them.
A treatise on devil worship in New England. Well, do you find this interesting?
Why, it's fascinating. The things I've learned. I bet you don't know the half of it. And you live right here on a spot where the witches were actually burnt. Listen to this. On Candlemas Eve, February 1st, In the year 1692, a coven of witches, a coven that's 13, some men, some women, whose power came from the devil, gathered beneath the Raven's Inn to perform a black mass in the honor of Lucifer. The witch Elizabeth Selwyn, later to be burnt at the stake, marked a young girl for sacrifice by obtaining an object of value belonging to her with which to call her, and leaving in its place a dead bird and a sprig of woodbine. The witches sacrificed her on the altar and drank her blood at the hour of 13. What's the hour of 13?
Well, personally, I have never heard a clock strike more than 12. Now, how about joining the dancing?
In a little while, I promise. Oh, by the way, I seem to have misplaced my locket. I remember having it in my room, and now it's disappeared.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll ask Lottie.
Well, I'm not saying it was stolen. It's just, I remember having it on the dresser, and now it's gone. I would appreciate it.
Of course. I'll look into it immediately. Lottie, I have warned you too often about annoying our guests. If you disobey me again, I shall turn you out. And if I turn you out, there will be no place for you anywhere. You do understand, Lottie, don't you? Ah, Miss Barlow. I'm afraid Lottie is nowhere to be found, but I will inquire about your locket first thing in the morning.
Oh, thank you. Where is everybody?
Most of the other guests have gone to services.
Services on the 1st of February? Candlemas Eve. The night when the witches mocked the rituals of the church.
Are you all right, Miss Barlow?
Yes, quite. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Miss Barlow.
Mrs. Nolas! Mrs. Nolas! Mrs. Nolas!
5, 6, 7.
No! No, Mrs. Miller, no! No, no, no!
I am Elizabeth Selwyn.
No, no!
11.
No! Let go of me! Let go!
12.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Susie! Happy birthday to you!
Yummy. Delicious.
Dick, have you got any idea what's happened to Nan?
I'm sure she'll show up. She probably met a good-looking Hewitch and is bringing him along to the party, only their broomstick blew a gasket.
Well, it's not like Nan to be late for anything. Aren't you a bit worried about her?
Oh, she'll be here. I'm sure she'll make it. Oh, it's probably her now.
Well, you answer the door, and I'm going to put a record on for some dancing.
All right.
Hi, Dick.
Bill.
Oh, what's the matter? You expecting somebody else?
Oh, yes, Nan. Look, come in, come in.
Well, Nan, didn't you hear yet? We made a date to meet here before she left for Whitewood.
Well, she probably got held up. Look, give me your coat, huh?
Nan was never late for anything in her life.
Relax. Take it easy. Join the party. She'll be here.
Dick. Dick, I haven't had a letter from Nan in over 2 weeks now.
She's probably been too busy working on her paper.
No, there's something wrong, I know it. Look, will you do something for me?
Hmm?
Ring up Whitewood, will you? Ask him if she's left.
You serious?
Yes, I am.
Okay. On a long distance, I'd like to speak with Miss Nan Barlow at the Raven's Inn, Whitewood. No, I don't know the phone number.
What? Didn't she give you the phone number?
Oh, I know, but that's my sister. They say there's no such place as the Raven's Inn.
But that's crazy. She's staying there.
Give me the police.
They say there's no such thing as the Raven's Inn. Perhaps that's because Miss Barlow didn't believe in witches. Or with a name like Raven's Inn, you best believe it wasn't located in downtown Pittsburgh. I wonder if this stuff will make me a better pirate.
Ah, it'll make you a deader pirate.
Tastes like yoo-hoo, anyway. You know, mateys, I think we need a little course correction about this movie to learn a little bit about this film. I think I should probably check in with me navigator. Mr. Bonds! Mr. Bonds, what's it look like up there? What's it look like?
Oh, it never fails. Always when I'm singing show tunes.
Mr. Bones!
Captain, I'm a doctor, not a navigator.
Bones, you are a navigator!
Oh, that's right, I'm a navigator. Oh, I am a navigator. I am a navigator. What can I do to you, Captain?
I need a course correction on this film, Mr. Bones.
Well, of course you do. That's where I come in!
Let me introduce you to me navigator on the Swashbuckler's haunt, Davy Bones. He's the one who gets us where we need to go. Aye, Davy Bones.
That is correct, Captain. Hey, Jack.
What can I do for you, Davy Bones?
Why is pirating so addictive?
I don't know, Davy. Why is it so addictive?
They say once you lose your first hand, you're hooked.
This is how bad television begins. Jack, why do you insist on talking with that cackle fruit?
I don't know. Why do you insist on talking with me?
Good point. Now, you know, me mateys, it suddenly dawns on me that you may know nothing about this movie. Or as naive as Miss Barlow was, or obviously as her clueless brother is. Well, that's where I come in. Let me introduce you to my navigator on the Swashbuckler's haunt, Davy Bones.
You've already introduced us, Captain Drake.
Aye.
A few times, actually, this evening already.
Yes, I know.
In fact, you were there when they told you a joke earlier about the hook. Just a minute ago.
Yes, I know. Get to the story.
Well, thank you, Captain Drake. You shouldn't have. The script of tonight's movie, City of the Dead, was originally written as a pilot for a TV series starring Boris Karloff himself. The City of the Dead was released in 1960, September, in the United Kingdom. It was not released in the United States until 1961 under the new title, Horror Hotel. Heavy metal band Iron Maiden uses scenes from this film in the music video for their song, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. Sections from the witch-burning scene at the beginning of the movie were used during the 1999 movie Curse of the Blair Witch. Although similar to Psycho, made that same year, involving a young blonde woman driving alone to a strange motel who gets killed partway through the film, this film is not a copycat. It was in production prior to Psycho, actually, and both were released in 1960. The character played by Tom Naylor is called Bill Maitland in the dialogue, but shown as Tom Maitland in the end credits. What a goof. When the brother, Richard Barlow, starts to go down the cellar stairs, there is a wire possibly to power his flashlight, clearly visible just behind him to his left. Whoopsie daisy! When they are waiting in the cemetery for the clock to strike 13, the clock actually strikes 14 times. Whoopsie daisy once again! When the body of Lottie is discovered, she accidentally blinks her eyes as her presumably lifeless body slumps down. Talk about a resurrection. Although it might be more cinematic, witches were never burned at the stake in New England. They were hung. Burnings of witches happen only in England. Captain Drake, as your navigator, I relinquish command back to you, Captain Drake. I hope you've enjoyed some of my fiendishly fun facts.
Now, all of that, I find, is very interesting. As a matter of record and straight from the catacombs of fear itself.
Right, the Cave of Wonders.
It's not the Cave of Wonders, Jack. It's the Catacombs of Fear. Not only background on tonight's movie, but an entire vault of horror films, ghost stories, pirates, swashbucklers, and more.
Right, Cave of Wonders, Cave of Wonders.
Ah, yes. Say Cave of Wonders one more time.
Ooh, I'd rather not.
A triple dog dare ya.
I'd rather not.
That'd be better. I'd hate to feed you to the fishes. And as for you, you won't believe what I've discovered in me treasure chest while Davy Bones was telling you about that film. It's a chance for you to win some pretty spooktacular booty yourself. A pirate's booty. And I'll be telling you how to go about that after a word from our sponsors. Straight from the Catacombs of Fear.
Cave of Wonders, Cave of Wonders.
Come here, you vile bird!
Oh, the Catacombs of Fear. I love that place. So many great films are buried there. You know, Captain, the thought of finding just the right Vincent Price movie gets my bones a-bumpin'.
I'm a very spooky guy. And you don't think home to mother. I will always take your spirits round. Once I see you on the street.
Squawk?
Oh yeah.
You know, Jack, I'm beginning to wonder if we didn't escort the wrong crewman off the plank last week.
Harry the Hornswoggler?
Aye.
Everybody sing. Super free, super free.
We'll be right back.
Super freak, I'm super freaky.
It's like I had a good night in Tortuga.
Tonight, as you look back at the birth of our nation, we look back at the birth of our show when I was a wee pirate and we didn't know what we were doing.
If I had the chance, shoot myself in the face. Twice.
All weekend long as we host the movie City of the Dead with the legendary Christopher Lee.
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
Hi guys.
Hi there.
Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. I want to talk to you guys today about cars, trucks, and SUVs. So what do you look for in a vehicle?
Sleek designs.
Performance. The technology inside.
Reliability, dependability.
Dependability is top on my list.
So what is dependability?
It's going to start, it's going to get me to where I want to go.
It's there for you when you need it.
Based on what you're saying, I want to show you some vehicles that deliver on that.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
What? That's our truck.
It's our truck.
They're our cars.
That's my Chevy.
They're so pretty.
I see all of our vehicles. Those are 4 good-looking rides.
I don't need to introduce the cars that are out here, huh?
No.
And Chevy's the only brand to have earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row.
That's really awesome and proud.
It's like a dynasty.
We got a good formula going.
So you guys are real people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're driving real Chevys.
Yeah.
Real Chevys. That's true.
If a natural disaster happened and we were outside the home, we'd probably all meet, I'll say, around the grocery store, you know?
We would all meet at a bus stop. That is our meeting place.
Well, we would probably just meet out in front of the house.
We'd probably meet at our neighbor's house.
If you have no plan, then you can just plan what to do as it happens.
They're kind of cool.
Not really. Pretty annoying.
How'd you get them?
Shooting windows out with my BB gun, and next day these showed up.
I think it's bad karma. You gotta do something good. Help out in the community. Donate to charity.
Just been real busy, you know? Yeah.
Stay on the universe's good side. Volunteer, vote, get involved.
Yo-ho! Yo-ho!
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem. Undead and buried treasures. Weekends at 11. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 and going until roughly 2:30 a.m. Right here on your local Fright Network affiliate. Our flagship station, BPTV.
It's like dinner and a show, Jack. A night at the opera.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode. Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
Pretty good stuff, don't you think? What do you think?
So wake the kids and phone the neighbors this weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages.
There are just so many people to thank on such a long list.
If you dare.
Care to play, Jack?
I've woken up in stranger places. What the?
Hello, Santana. Would you like to play a game? Last Steel City Con, you ran amok. You commandeered William Shatner's autograph line, stole from the innocent, and generally made all the guests feel a little weird and uncomfortable inside.
You were in my backyard 2 days ago, and what did I tell you? Stay away 500 feet.
This year will be different. I will no longer idly stand by while you...
Wait, who was that? Are you gonna be at Steel City?
No, you didn't see that.
Jigsaw's gonna be at Steel City? I'm coming.
We asked, and you responded.
Hey guys, I was just calling to tell you that I'm a really big fan of your show. Me and my friends watch it every Saturday night, and we are absolutely in love with all the monster movies that you talk about, and especially that they're from like the 50s, 60s, you know, the older movies. That's what we like about the show so much. We especially like your parrot Jack. He's always making us laugh. And it's just a very enjoyable show that we like to watch every Saturday. So I was just calling to give you my feedback, and I hope you continue to make more great shows. Thank you.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
Hey, this is Saul Cummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love Dead and Barry's Treasure Show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you know, you guys got to check this show out, and it'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy. Bucket of Blood is what it is, man. What it is. Got that beatnik thing to it, and I just love it. Groovy, man, groovy. Hey, keep up the good work, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So let's blow some stuff up, eat some hot dogs, lock the doors, and bolt the windows. It's our special 4th of July show of Dead and Buried Treasures.
What we need here is a musical interlude to kill some time.
Try living with it.
And do it in style with the 3 B's. Baked beans, bourbon, and bigger scares than you can imagine.
I'll be back before you know it.
Yes, might have gotten away with it, too. It wasn't for these blasted kids and that dog.
Ha 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 ha!
Aye, you landlubbers, welcome back to the Swashbuckler's haunt. As promised, we have some ghoulish trivia for you to win some fairly spooktacular prizes. Shiver me timbers. As I was telling you before break, you'll not believe what I discovered in the catacombs of fear.
Right, catacombs of fear. Ah!
No, it's not the cave... Yes, the catacombs of fear, that's it, yes. Otherwise known to you landlubbers as the greatest secret in pirates' history, Davy Jones' locker itself. Look what I discovered. Look at this device, Jack. It's the scepter of Sam Hain. I ain't seen this in ages.
Ah! What is it, Captain?
None believed it even existed. You see, Jack, legend tells that Sam Hain was a Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, or the darker half of the year. The legend behind the scepter was that it contained secret powers to permit the holder admission to the Festival of the Dead.
And how would you use the scepter, Captain?
Well, Jack, it was secreted to the catacombs of fear by Davy Jones himself, the original horror host. He claimed it had the power to make it Halloween all year long. Shut up that infernal noise! It sounds like someone is smacking a sack of cats off the wall.
Ah! And what is your intent, Drake, now that you've discovered it?
Well, that's obvious, Jack. To use it right here on me ship, the Swashbuckler's haunt, to make it Halloween all year long. Or at the very least when we're on the air.
I don't know, Captain. It makes me a little nervous. It sounds dangerous messing with the Festival of the Dead.
Sam Hain! Sam Hain!
Let me ease your fears, you filthy bilge-rats. It can be used for some good as well. The Scepter of Sam Hain can also be used for our treasured trivia, for our viewers at home.
Treasured trivia? Ah! Treasured trivia?
That be right, Jack, as we were about to do right now. Give us the legal stuff, Davy Bones.
If you're a fan of horror films, here is tonight's trivia question brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Now remember, mateys, if you attempt to answer the trivia question, you are allowing us to use your name on our Fright Network. The first correct answer is the winner, and with one winner chosen each week. To be eligible, all submissions have to be emailed before the show is over with the accompanying timestamp, and no entries will be accepted once the show concludes. Your horrific prize can be picked up during regular business hours at BPTV in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Unclaimed prizes not picked up within 2 weeks of the show's original air date will be forfeited. Prizes for movie trivia will only be offered during a show's original broadcast and will not be offered during encore performances or repeats of shows. That's Saturday night, folks. Employees of BPTV, Comcast, and PCTV simply aren't eligible. Captain?
Ah, thank you, Mr. Bones. As well as the Scepter of Sam Hain thanks you as well. Here is tonight's trivia question. In the movie Scream, what are the 3 rules you must do to successfully survive a horror film? If you know the answer, drop me an email at deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. The first correct answer will receive a Buffalo Wild Wings party pack of $50 value. And here's that question once again. In the movie Scream, what are the 3 rules you must do to successfully survive a horror film? Remember, if you know the answer, again, drop me an email at deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. The first correct answer will receive a Buffalo Wild Wings party pack, a $50 value from Buffalo Wild Wings in Washington, Pennsylvania.
No way!
And now, Jack, let us get back to tonight's movie on Dead and Buried Treasures, the City of the Dead. I couldn't think of a better movie to watch myself. You know, Jack, this witch's potion really puts the zip in me broom.
Showtime!
You know, Captain, why do you think witches ride on broomsticks? Because it's quicker than walking.
Don't you know anything new? I hate me
She left in such a hurry, she must have forgotten to return it to you, Miss Russell.
She seems such a nice girl, too. Wouldn't have thought she was the sort who'd forget to return a book.
We cannot always judge by our first impressions, can we?
I'm not usually wrong about the people I lend my books to.
Well, perhaps you'll be more careful in future.
Thank you for letting me have it.
Remember me to your grandfather. Lottie, get out of the way, you clumsy creature.
Can I help you?
Yes, we're from the sheriff's office. We had a call this evening. A missing persons report from some college kid named Nan Barlow. The party calling said that her last known whereabouts was the Raven's Inn.
And Barlow, that's strange. Yes, I met her.
When did you last see her?
About 2 weeks ago. She came to my shop and borrowed this book. It's quite valuable, and so not hearing from her, I decided to come and get it. Mrs. Newless had it.
May I?
Yes.
That treatise on devil worship. I must put this in the report. Peculiar things some of these college kids do nowadays. Well, thanks for your help. Come on, Charlie.
Hello? Yeah? It's police. Yeah? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Well? The police sent a car out to the Raven's Inn. Nan checked out 2 weeks ago. I don't get it. Well, neither do I.
Look, these are Nan's books and papers. Go through them. See if you can find anything which might give us a lead. I'm going to pay a visit to a colleague of mine.
O Lord of Light, accept this sacrifice.
guess you weren't in.
No, I wasn't. Would you care to go in the study? Sit yourself down.
Thanks.
You take a drink?
Ryan soda.
Ice, please. So what's on your mind?
Well, Nan's missing. And she has been since the day after she arrived at Whitewood.
Really? You quite sure?
That's what the police said.
What are they doing about it?
Carrying out a routine check. I don't suppose they can do much more until they've got something definite to go on.
Well, I would have thought there was a very great deal more they could do.
What? As far as they're concerned, she disappeared 2 weeks ago and no one in the village seems to know anything about it.
What have you come to see me for?
I thought you might have some ideas. Why did you send her to Whitewood?
Because it was the best place for her research.
And you suggested she stay at the Raven's Inn.
Sure, it's the only inn there is.
With an unlisted phone number?
The inn has its own clientele, Barlow. It doesn't need to advertise.
How do you know it so well?
Because I was born in Whitewood.
I see. And you'd have every reason to believe she'd be perfectly safe in going there.
I have no reason to suppose that she wouldn't be. Nan struck me as being perfectly capable of taking care of herself.
Yeah, I grant you that, but why hasn't she come back or let us know?
Look, Barlow, I can understand your anxiety, but I'm quite sure there's nothing for you to worry about. Nothing at all. She's probably got absorbed in the subject and gone off someplace. I wish that all my class had her application.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out where this application led her. I'm going to retrace every step Nan took. I'm either going to find Nan or know what happened to her.
I can't stop you from going.
No.
I'm not afraid.
Afraid? Why?
Well, if anything did happen to your sister and somebody else went along to try and find out about it.
Same thing might happen to them?
Possible.
You seem to think something happened to my sister then.
No, I just think you're jumping to conclusions, Barlow.
Maybe, but I shall find her.
Professor Driscoll,
Yes.
I don't like to disturb you, but may I see you?
Well, of course, please come in. Good luck in Whitewood.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, but did you say he was going to Whitewood?
Yes, he is.
It's silly to be surprised, but I've just come from Whitewood.
Really? Quite a coincidence. My own family happens to come from Whitewood. As a matter of fact, I was born there.
Yes, I know.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Do you care for a drink?
No, thank you. I think you know my grandfather, the Reverend Russell.
Russell? Oh, yes, of course I do. How long have you been living in Whitewood?
Since my grandmother died a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now, how can I help you?
I've come about a pupil of yours, Barlow, Nan Barlow.
Yes?
She came to Whitewood 2 weeks ago. I met her and liked her, and she told me that she was a student in one of your classes, that you recommended that she stay at the Raven's Inn.
That's quite right, I did.
Well, that's what I've come to see you about. On the day after she arrived, she disappeared.
Oh?
Later, the police came asking questions. Her family were worried. I thought you might have their address.
And why do you want her family's address?
Because I have something of hers I want to return.
Well, you just leave it with me, and I'll make sure they get it safely.
Well, I don't want to trouble you. If you just give me their address.
As you wish. Her address is Dorchester Street, 225. She lives with her brother. As a matter of fact, he's a colleague of mine. You just met him. He was leaving when you arrived. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm rather a busy man at the moment.
Of course. Thank you for your help.
Not at all. I hope it achieves something. Well, you will remember me to your grandfather, won't you?
Yes, of course. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Russell.
Yeah, it's Nan's locket, all right.
As far as I know, it's unique. I gave it to her. Where did you get it?
The servant at the inn gave it to me. It was strange. I don't think she wanted Mrs. Newless to know I had it.
Mrs. Newless?
Well, she runs the inn.
Well, why did you come here, Miss Russell?
I found this.
It's Professor Driscoll's notepaper.
I found it in the pages of a book I lent your sister on her first evening in Whitewood. When she didn't return it, I went to the hotel.
What was the book?
An old book. Book about witchcraft.
Do you believe in it, Miss Russell?
I don't know. Sometimes I almost think I live with it.
Live with it?
It's an obsession of my grandfather's. Up till now, I didn't take him very seriously. He's an old man. But now I'm beginning to wonder if what he says isn't true.
What does he say?
That there's something evil about the village. That on certain nights, the inhabitants leave the streets, close their doors, and stay behind them. That on these nights, the dead come to life.
Nights like Candlemas Eve?
What do you know about Candlemas Eve?
It's in one of Nan's books.
I don't believe it. Things like this don't happen today.
In Whitewood, I wonder.
I'm going to Whitewood tomorrow after classes. I can give you a lift.
Thank you, but I must get back. I can't leave my grandfather alone. He's blind.
May I come and see you when I arrive? I'd like to have a talk with him.
Please do. It's the house next to the church. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'll see you to the door.
Would you be going to Whitewood?
Yes.
Would you take me along with you? It's a dark night for walking. You're the Reverend Russell's granddaughter, aren't you?
Yes, how did you know?
I know a great deal about Whitewood.
Have you ever been there?
Now and then.
Never seen you.
To see me is a special privilege, reserved for a chosen few.
What does that mean?
We'll soon be at Whitewood now.
This is as far as I go. You will...
She's pretty, too.
Yes, she is. Very pretty.
A living descendant of those who were cursed. It somehow seems to make it better.
Another day.
And tomorrow.
The witch's Sabbath.
Which way to Wamport Road?
Straight ahead, fork in the road, you see a sign, turn left. You heading for Whitewood?
I am. Many people head this way?
Not many.
Is this the only way in and out of the town?
In this direction, yep.
You wouldn't remember by any chance a pretty girl in a convertible about a month ago?
The Barlow girl. Read about her in the papers. Never seen her again. Told the police.
Thanks.
Could you tell me the way to Whitewood, please?
Another one. Straight ahead, fork in the road, you see a sign, Wamport Road, turn left, takes you right in.
Well, thanks.
Let me warn you, young fella, they don't like strangers in Whitewood.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like a room, please.
The inn is closing.
I'll only be here a few days.
But the inn is closing.
When?
In 2 days.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay until then.
If you insist.
Could I have the same room my sister had? Still available, isn't it?
Yes, it's available.
Mrs. Newless, you told the police that my sister checked out.
You are mistaken, Mr. Barlow. I told them that on the morning of February 2nd, I went to her room and found it empty, her bed not slept in, her luggage and car gone, and her bill unpaid.
Well, you can put the charges on mine. When was the last time you saw her?
On the evening of February 1st. It was shortly before midnight. She'd been in the lobby here dancing with some of the guests. She seemed to be enjoying herself.
Did any particular guest pay a special attention to her?
And not that I noticed. Your sister kept very much to herself.
You know why she came to Whitewood?
It is not my habit to inquire into people's private business.
Would the fact that she was investigating witchcraft have antagonized anyone in the village?
Besides, your sister was a very agreeable and likable young woman.
Well, have you any idea where she might have gone?
None.
Thank you. Now, may I see the room?
As you wish. It is this way. If you should need anything and I am not at the desk, you have only to ring the bell.
Thank you. Hello.
I'm so glad you've come. I saw your car outside the Ravens Inn earlier. I wondered what had happened to you.
I've been talking with Mrs. Newless, and then I took a walk around the village.
Find out anything?
Everyone here seems to be afraid of something.
And you don't think it's just my imagination?
I don't know. Who's to say where imagination ends and truth begins? It's nothing tangible. It's just the way they look at you.
I felt it too.
May I see the book that Nan borrowed?
Yes, I put a marker between the pages where she must have stopped reading. Just sit down and I'll tell my grandfather you're here.
Thank you.
I warned you, Lottie.
Grandfather, this is Mr. Barlow.
How do you do, sir?
God be with you.
Shall we sit where we'll be more comfortable? Here's your chair, Grandfather. You must be tired.
I am very tired. I have little strength left these days for the fight.
Won't you sit down? I'll make some coffee.
The fight against what, Mr. Russell?
Against the evil that besets this village. The people are creatures of the devil. They know no other God.
You mean they worship Satan here? Today?
Satanism was never stronger than at the present time. For 200 years, the people of Whitewood have carried out rituals that mock the church's teaching.
I find it very hard to believe, sir.
Do not doubt, my son. It is real enough. For years I struggled against the witches. Their master took away my sight.
Seems incredible.
I have tried to convince others. They too found it unbelievable. But I know these people have a pact with the devil to worship him and do his works. In return, he gives them eternal life.
Eternal life?
Aye. And to seal this bargain, they must sacrifice a young girl on 2 nights of the year.
When are these nights, sir?
Candlemas Eve and the witch's Sabbath.
Candlemas Eve, that's February the 1st. And when is the witch's Sabbath?
Tonight.
Now you know why I came to see you.
I had no idea it was so late. May I have a rain check on the coffee? I'd like to have a few words with Miss Nulis again.
Of course.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
I'll see you to the door.
God be with us.
Oh, Miss Russell, do you think that Nan's disappearance is connected in some way with these witches' ceremonies?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to come back later, if I may.
Please do. And my name is Pat.
Oh, mine's Richard.
I think I feel better now you're here.
Well, I'm going to stay until I find out what's happened to Nan.
Take care. Now drink your coffee before it gets cold.
You must not see that young man again tonight.
Why not?
The devil comes in many disguises.
I'll get you a spoon. Grandfather, there's a bird in the drawer. It's got an arrow through it.
Go and look on the front door.
There's a sprig of woodbine.
Shut the door! Shut the door quickly!
Grandfather, what does it mean?
Now listen, my darling. This is their sign. The witch's sign.
What can we do?
We must leave here. Leave here immediately.
Stop the car. Something's wrong. They've wrecked the car.
Barlow! Phone Barlow!
Hello, I want the Ravens Inn.
Yes, Mrs. Nulis. Mr. Barlow.
That for me?
Yes.
Hello?
Dick, I'm in terrible danger. We've got to leave Whitewood at once.
Danger? But from what?
We've got to leave...
Pat!
Dick, help me!
Patricia! Pat!
What danger? Are you daft? Hello? Patricia? Well, what do you know about that? I can't seem to get an answer either. Let me try this again. ask for an Uber. Let me try this one more time. It's got to be...
Look behind you.
Well, there's nothing there. Let me try this one more time. Who is this
I know who you are.
Well, I would hope so. I'm hosting a TV show.
We're sorry. The number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.
I tell you what. All of the witches in this movie, they all seem like a humongous pain in the ass. Even Christopher Lee. Speaking of whom, we never got the chance to talk about the star of tonight's film very much, have we? Well, let's correct that course right now. What do you know about that? Of course, me favourite Christopher Lee films were the ones where he played a pirate captain in The Pirates of Blood River in 1962 and The Devil Ship Pirates in 1964. We'll be right back after these horrible but quite profitable words from our sponsors. In the meantime, I'm going to continue trying to get Patricia on the phone. I never know when I just...
Come with me to the grave.
Are you anywhere near the Buffalo Wild Wings?
It's our special 4th of July Scarecast.
Set a course for the island of dead and buried treasures.
Yes, Captain, aye aye!
Tonight, as you celebrate the 4th of July weekend with fireworks, revolvers ablazing, and the birth of our nation, come have a few scares and celebrate the birth of our show, Dead and Buried Treasures. We're just as patriotic as anyone else.
It's like I had a good night in Tortuga.
You're living here. Take a look around. At least you got friends. I call my old lady.
The new
Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, wow. Nice to meet you. Wow.
Welcome. This is the Chevy Equinox. What's your first impression? Beautiful.
Wow. I like the lights.
All-wheel drive?
Love the chrome. Looks expensive.
Very modern.
It's fierce.
It also offers a lot of great technology inside.
Oh, this is nice.
Wow. Ooh, this is fancy.
That's the available HD surround vision camera.
The top of your car?
Mm-hmm. It helps you see dangers around the vehicle.
What is that?
What is that?
Wait, what is that?
Oh my God.
What is that? Oh my God,
What is happening?
Why is his mouth open?
That one's angry. Now we're surrounded. Good thing we have these cameras.
Oh yeah. These are big alligators too. So who's getting out first?
I don't know, but we're keeping this camera on.
I've woken up in stranger places. What the?
Hello, Santana. Would you like to play a game? Last Steel City Con, you ran amok. You commandeered William Shatner's autograph line, stole from the innocent, and generally made all the guests feel a little weird and uncomfortable inside.
You were in my backyard 2 days ago, and what did I tell you? Stay away 500 feet.
This here will be different. I will no longer idly stand by while you...
Wait, who was that? Are you gonna be at Steel City?
No, you didn't see that.
Jigsaw's gonna be at Steel City? I'm coming.
And while you're picking yourself up off the floor from that one, mateys, let me introduce you to another great bit of casting.
Dead and Buried Treasures is your weekend haunt. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 with a new show the first Friday of the month, right here on this Fright Network affiliate.
Well, you certainly had that one loaded in a chamber.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode.
I probably look significantly different than Captain Calico Drake, I do.
Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
I should be hearing from the FCC any minute now.
So don't forget to call and leave your feedback on the show.
Like this one?
And ask questions where your Q&A will be read on the air.
Like this one?
Daily Bats, I choose you. Say my name so my powers will become yours.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
Shazam.
A lair. Yes. If you have a location like on a cliff, like a castle-esque type thing.
Overlooking some water.
Splashing on rocks and stuff, then we will take that.
Shazam.
Arr, we asked, and you responded.
Oh my God, I think your TV thing is so awesome. I just want to let you know I think it's great for our kids and our community to be able to participate and see ourselves on TV. So, thanks.
Good morning. This is Puff, and I'm watching the program. I think it is absolutely marvelous. Something of that nature brought to light. It is so entertaining and so wonderful, and it's sheerly delightful. So good luck to you in the future, and keep on programming. The bloodier, the ghoulier, the better. I love it. Remarkable. Bless you.
Why, hello, Dead and Buried Treasures. I just wanted to call and leave a message that I was very impressed by your show. It's very well done, and it might be one of the best locally produced programs I've ever seen. It reminded me of the old Chiller Theater in the 80s with Chilly Billy, and I absolutely love your show. I tell everybody about it. I even had my friends over, some kids, and my grandchildren over a couple of Fridays back when it was on, and we all gathered around and made popcorn like the old days and had some fun watching some television as a family. So I thought it was very well done, and Captain Drake is very funny, and the parrot is hilarious. Well written, well crafted, very good show. Keep it up, Dead and Buried Treasures.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
I am stuffed.
After that meal, I have got to pass gas.
Powder room's right there.
No! Daddy's gas can kill us all!
That's right. Toxic clouds like the one I'm about to unleash could make everyone deathly ill. Even that baby of yours. Be right back.
Secondhand smoke contains hydrogen cyanide and other deadly gases.
What a guy.
He is a keeper.
Don't pass gas. Take it outside.
My cell phone number and John's cell phone number. And remember the restaurant where we're going to be. Oh, I've left you my pager number too, just in case, because you never know. John, you have the gift?
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400.
So if anything should happen, please don't hesitate.
The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. Go to autismspeaks.org.
We asked, and you responded.
We're sorry we're not home right now. We thank you for your call. We are such merry people. We love you one and all. Please leave your name and phone number. We'll call you back with luck. But if you should hang up too soon, go take off flying.
Hi, sorry I missed you. Just leave a message.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Tonight, as you look back at the birth of our nation, we look back at the birth of our show when I was a wee pirate and we didn't know what we were doing.
If I had the chance, shoot myself in the face. Twice.
All weekend long as we host the movie City of the Dead with the legendary Christopher Lee.
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So let's blow some stuff up, eat some hot dogs, lock the doors, and bolt the windows. It's our special 4th of July show of Dead and Buried Treasures.
What we need here is a musical interlude to kill some time.
Try living with it.
And do it in style with the 3 B's. Baked beans, bourbon, and bigger scares than you can imagine.
I'll be back before you know it. Hello! Well, it certainly looks as though things are beginning to escalate for the Barlows. I've tried reaching them on this phone for the last 10 minutes, but all the lines are dead. You see, when you're dealing with witches, particularly those who have been around since 1692, like Elizabeth Selwyn, for example, you need to expect the unexpected. In fact, when you think of her name now, it's actually an anagram from Selwyn. Think about it. Mrs. Newless, Elizabeth Selwyn, Elizabeth Selwyn, Mrs. Newless, Nulis, Selwyn. Did you catch any of that? Did you catch any of that, Jack?
The unexpected.
That'd be right, Jack. Perhaps the Barlows should arm themselves with a good pistol, or fire, or even... wait, I know a good idea. A good cross. This is how I work out. I know. Now, I know witches aren't vampires, but every little bit helps. And now let us get back to the conclusion of City of the Dead. Perhaps this is a clue, Jack, on how to beat them.
What's happened, Mr. Russell? The witches have Patricia destroyed it. Mr. Russell, how? The shadow of the cross. Use the cross. I adjure thee, O creatures of salt, by the living God. Mr. Russell. Maitland! Maitland, what's happened? Hello. Hello, operator?
We've been waiting for
Dick, these are the dead who killed Nan.
Barlow.
Dick, help me.
Come on, Pat, quicker!
Dick, right. Dick!
Maitland! Get to a cross! A cross! A shadow of a cross!
Dick, he's moving.
Lift the cross! Quick! Jesus, folks! I am jersey by the living God! Back from the cross! Come nearer, Lou! Get the shadow on them!
It comes nearer.
Not fail. We must finish the sacrifice.
Dick!
What? Wait! Wait for the hour of 13.
You right?
I think so.
Got a score to settle with Mrs. Newlis. You stay here.
you're going. The show's not over just yet, me hearties. I'll be back in just a few minutes. 60 seconds to be exact.
Well, how about that? I guess you could say it was a hot time in the old town tonight. Well, Jack, I guess it's true what they say.
What's that, Captain?
What a witch rings for in a hotel. Broom service! Well, you scurvy scalawags, that was City of the Dead with Christopher Lee on your weekend haunt known as Buried Treasures.
Dead and buried treasures, Captain Drake.
Ah, yes, you are correct, Jack. We have an accord. Dead and buried treasures with a different and classic horror movie every weekend. Every Friday and Saturday night, where it's Halloween all year long. So all hands on deck in the weeks ahead. Look for other seaworthy and spooktacular weekend haunts, as the holiday season is right around the corner, and I love Santa Claus, not to mention a collection of ghosts galore and other spirited and supernatural scares. Next time, an old bitter miser is given a chance for redemption when he's haunted by count them, 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve. You heard right. 3 ghostly apparitions led by Jacob Marley have come back to collect Ebenezer Scrooge and take him to the world beyond in A Christmas Carol.
Captain, that's not quite what happens.
Huh? What's that, Jack?
That's not quite what happens.
Well, what the devil happens then? Huh? What? What? Huh. But it's scary, right? I mean...
Oh, there are real moments of fright in it.
Oh, yes, Captain. There are moments with Jacob Marley that scare even me right out of my skin. And I'm a skeleton.
Well, then we have an accord. As long as it's scary. I've never seen it before, but it has to be scary with ghosts in it and such, so I guess that would be all right. And that's just the beginning, mateys. Join me, Calico Drake, captain of the Swashbuckler's Haunt, every weekend for weekend haunts, every Friday and Saturday night at 11 o'clock, right here. Just change the channel from your local news. For Dead and Buried Treasures, where it's Halloween all year long. And until next time, remember this, mateys. It's a pirate's life for me. Play me out, Johnny.
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil be done for the rest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. The mate was fixed by the bosun's spike. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. While we sailed by the rule of thumb. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. 15 men of a whole ship's list. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Dead and be damned and the rest gone whist. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. 15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. The rank and the devil be done for the rest. Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum.
on me hat. Don't I feel like an idiot?
Maybe a shaver. A shaver.
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures.
You know, Captain, we should be recording this.
You know, Jack, we should be recording.
This weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages, if you dare.
Is it wrong that I want their autograph?
Arr, we asked, and you responded.
Hi, I wanted to call in and just tell you that I just absolutely love watching Dead and Buried Treasures. I watch it with my kids, and my kids just think the bird is awesome. And I myself love watching the ghost and horror movies. It brings back a lot of memories. I used to watch those with my parents, and I just think the show is awesome, and we need more shows like that.
Hey, I was just calling in because I wanted to say I like what you guys have got going on there. I really enjoy watching it because I used to watch shows like this back when I was a kid, and watching it brings back a little bit of nostalgia from before. And I just wish there was more shows like this on the air now, because watching it brings back all those memories of before, and it's just really nice to see all that.
Hey, I wanted to call about the show for Dead and Buried Treasures. Just wanted to say, great show, especially during this time in the way this country is. It's funny. It's just a good, entertaining type of show. My family watches it all the time. It'd be great if we actually got to see it on TV versus sitting there on the iPad watching it, or on the phone and watching it, whatever. But it's fun. It's very entertaining. Makes me laugh. At the end of the day, we need more shows like that. And I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your effort putting into it. Just a good time. I hope you keep doing it because we love watching it. Thank you very much. I just had to call and tell you that. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by.